Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
We've seen two totally different games this series, and both went in the Indians' favor. Friday was a slugfest, with the Tribe landing the final blow on Ryan Rayburn's walk-off in the 11th. Last night, a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel as Justin Masterson outdueled Yu Darvish in a 1-0 win. Today, the Indians go for the sweep behind Ubaldo Jimenez next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a gorgeous sunny Sunday afternoon in downtown Cleveland as the Indians try to sweep the Texas Rangers. It's the finale of their three-game series, and it's right here on Sports Time Ohio. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. When this series began, both the Indians and the Rangers were 3 games out of first place in their respective divisions. The Indians have held serve. They're still 3 back in Detroit, but Texas has dropped 2 games now. They're 5 behind the Oakland A's because the Indians have just found different ways to beat them, and now they got a chance to sweep the series. Ubaldo Jimenez gets the start for the Tribe.
And he will be matched up against Alexei Ogando, who is, making his second start since coming off the DL. Now, he has had success against the Indians in his career. He's 3-0. He hasn't pitched against them this year. One time he pitched against them last year with a win, and this guy has had arm problems this year, twice on the DL. But as I said, 3-0 against the Indians in his career. It's going to be Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound for the Indians. He is going to try to continue the sweep here for the Indians. And Jimenez, they're trying to get him deeper into ball game, trying to get him to throw his fastball a little bit more. Yan Gomes will be his catcher this afternoon. It'll be only the 3rd time this year that he will be behind the plate with Jimenez on the mound. We'll see if that makes a difference, but hopefully he's got his arsenal and he can give you 6 innings.
The last time the Indians swept a 3-game series from the Rangers here in Cleveland, according to Elias, you were part of it. August of 1980. So the Indians try to make a little recent history here this afternoon. Tribe and the Rangers, the Indians on a roll. Can they keep it going against the Texas Big Bats? Ubaldo Jimenez will try to shut them down. The play-by-play on Kids Fun Day is next. All right, a beautiful day here in downtown Cleveland. Some clouds overhead, but otherwise perfect conditions. Indians and the Texas Rangers. On the hill for the Tribe, Ubaldo Jimenez. Let's look at Ron Washington's starting 9 today. He's juggled his lineup a little bit. Ian Kinsler in the leadoff spot. Elvis Andrus moves up into the 2-hole. Then Nelson Cruz and Adrian Beltre, followed by A.J. Pierzynski. David Murphy gets to start in left field, batting 6th. Jurickson Profar will start for the first time in the series, batting 7th. Then Mitch Moreland and Leonis Martin.
Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound for the Indians. His 21st start this year. His record 7-5, 4.49 ERA. Pitched one game earlier this year against Texas. He beat him. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits and 1 run down in Texas. That ball game was on June 12th.
Here's the 1, and today's first pitch. Kinsler turns on it, and it's a foul ball. 67 degrees, our game time temperature. And a strike over the outside corner. It's 0-2. Light breeze blowing out toward center field. Kinsler has gone 2 for 8 in the series. Down in the dirt. Rangers have lost 3 straight and 8 of their last 10. They've fallen 5 games off the pace in the AL West. Way outside. The Indians, on the other hand, have won 3 in a row and 8 of their last 12, and they trail Detroit by 3 games in the AL Central. Kansas City currently 3rd place, 7 games off the pace. Kinsler got a piece of that to foul it back and stay alive. Kansas City, by the way, has won 5 in a row.
Yeah, they've been hot.
They're a game below 500 now. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Ubaldo gets his 101st strikeout on the year.
Let's check out the Kia Indians defense. It's Brantley in left. Bourne is in center. Rayburn gets the start in right today. Chisenhall at third. Cabrera at short. Kipnis is at second. Swisher at first with Gomes behind the plate. Only the 3rd time this year that Gomes has had the opportunity to catch Ubaldo.
Marvin Hudson calling the balls and strikes. Your crew chief, Tim McClellan, is at second base. Inside ball 1 to Elvis Andrus, who's batting in the 3rd different spot in the lineup in the 3 games in this series.
This is the spot we're used to seeing him in, though, is the number 2 hole.
Well, he took to it with a pretty good swing. Deep left center field. Brantley chasing it all the way to the fence, and 1 hops the wall. And into second base with a double is Elvis Andrus, his 10th 2-bagger on the year.
The hitting
gives
streak.
him 37 straight games with a hit against the Indians.
The streak continues, and he just makes a mistake. That fastball stayed middle of the plate, and Andrus just jumped all over it. A guy that tries to shoot the ball the other way, but that enabled him to turn on that ball and hit it in the left center field where nobody was playing, and you can see his 37-game hitting streak against the Indians. So that'll continue over the winter, and we won't see him again till next year where it'll pick up.
Yeah, he set that record yesterday, surpassing Ken Griffey Jr.'s 35-game hitting streak against the Indians. Nelson Cruz batting in the 3-hole. Cruz 2 for 9 in the series with a home run. Adrian Beltre, who waits on deck, said after last night's game, yeah, we've been inconsistent offensively. We've had our problems, but last night Justin Masterson was just too much for us. Masterson with an absolute gem.
It was really a fun game to watch between him and Yu Darvish out there. They both had their strikeout pitches working. There was some nasty sliders going on in this ballpark last night.
Well, it's interesting in that last night, according to Elias, was the first time the Indians have ever won a game in their 113-year history where the only run of the game came on a leadoff home run. And it was the first game in the history of the Rangers where they lost a game, where the only run of the ball game came on a leadoff
homer.
So it was a rare piece of history for both the Indians and the Rangers, and it was Michael Bourne who hit that cutter on the second pitch of the game down the right field line just above the fence, and that was it. The only run of the game. One ball, two strikes, the count on Nelson Cruz. Andrus took off for third. The ball is fouled out of play.
Well, their job is they better hold him a little closer than what they did. He had a terrific jump. Gomes was up and ready to fire, but I don't know if he would have had an opportunity. He had a great jump. Middle infielders now, you see Kipnis, you're going to have to keep him a little closer. Very good jump. Gomes is up. It would have been a good race right there.
Would have been close, I think. 1-2 pitch, runner holds, and just a little bit outside.
That's a good pitch. Normally, Cruz would swing at that pitch when he has not had a lot of success against Ubaldo. He's 0 for 10, 8 punch-outs. But he didn't bite at that one. That was a good slider.
Turn towards second, but nothing doing there. Yeah, with Cruz, he's either swung at the slider down and away, or down in Texas we saw Jimenez get him to chase a breaking ball that was up out of the strike zone. Fastball down in the dirt. Good block by Gomes, and holding at second is Andrus. Elvis Andrus with 22 stolen bases on the year.
Gomes does a nice job here just keeping the ball in front because Andrus was going to take off. He smothered it, let it come into his body, and kept it right there. I think that was a splitter.
It looked like a splitter only because of the way Gomes reacted to it. He had to wait to the last second to determine whether or not that ball was going to stay up for him to catch it or if he was going to have to block it.
Well, Cruz did a nice job right there to stay alive. That was a strike. It was a slider on the outside part, and he lives for another pitch.
And already the 8th pitch of the at-bat for Cruz. I'll back out of play again. The 3-2 in the dirt.
It's a good at-bat.
Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. The Indians have scored a lot of runs in the first innings. They've outscored the opposition by 23. Rangers have been outscored by 24. So they've played from behind early a lot. The Indians have enjoyed playing from in front. But Texas threatening to change that stat here in the first inning today. Beltre chops it to third. Chisenhall, short hop pick, go to second for one. On to first. An inning-ending double play. Adrian Beltre bounces to third. They go around the horn to end the inning. Michael Bourne, who started yesterday with a homer, will lead it off for the Tribe when we come back. First inning here at Progressive Field. Let's take a look at the Tribe's starting nine. Brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne leads it off, followed by Nick Swisher. Jason Kipnis will bat third. As Drupal Cabrera in the cleanup spot, he's gone 4 for 10 in the series with a double. Michael Brantley bats fifth and Carlos Santana sixth. Ryan Rayburn getting the start, batting seventh in right field, and Lonnie Chisenhall eighth, and Yan Gomes will bat ninth.
It looks like Ogando on the mound. It's his 12th start this year, his second since coming off the DL. A lot like Darvish yesterday. He has had right shoulder tightness. He has spent 2 times on the DL this year.
Michael Bourne looks at a first pitch strike.
Guy with a very explosive fastball.
Upstairs with a fastball and a count 1-1. Michael Bourne, who had not faced Yu Darvish before last night, said afterwards, "Oh, I believe the hype, man. That guy's good." But Bourne said, I didn't want to get behind him. Jumped on the second pitch of the game and hit it out for a home run. And who knew it would be the only run of the game. David Murphy in left field all the way to the track. A couple of strides in front of the wall before he pulled it down, one away.
Let's check out that defense for the Texas Rangers this afternoon. It's Murphy in left field. That's his first start in the series. Martin in center, Cruz is in right. Beltre at third, Andrus at short. Profar gets the start at second. Moreland at first. A.J. Brzezinski back behind the plate tonight.
Fastball is a strike to Nick Swisher. Alexei Ogando is one of those guys where we first saw him coming out of the bullpen, and he was filthy. And you thought, wow, this guy, another top-notch reliever. But Texas got to thinking about it and said, if we could stretch this guy out, 21 outs is probably better if he can get you 21 outs than maybe get you 3.
Right.
And it's worked out.
Well, it has, but he's had his arm injuries. They did the same thing with Neftali Feliz, who was a closer that you say, holy smokes, this guy is unbelievable. He was their closer. They tried to stretch him out, and he's on the disabled list and has arm problems too.
Doesn't always work out exactly as you plan. The 1-2. Swisher with a one-hop smash into right field, a base hit. And a one-out single here in the first. Jason Kipnis coming up, and we'll check in with Katie Witham to see what the Tribe's plan of attack against Ogando is today.
Well, Matt, you guys mentioned this is Alexei's second start since coming off the DL. And Indians hitting coach Ty Van Berkeley told me what they've seen is he's been a little erratic since coming off the DL. He's got a good changeup that's especially tough against lefties, but he hasn't used it much. He only threw 78 pitches in his last start, Matt. So the key is to make him work early and try to get that pitch count up.
That's what they did effectively last night against Yu Darvish, though it didn't help them out as far as scoring runs. But they had him out of the stretch. They made him work, made him throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah, he still went 6 innings, but still, it was a nice job.
One pitch low and away. Darvish last night was just incredibly effective. 11 strikeouts. He went 125 pitches. See, Darvish looked like he was mimicking Jason Kipnis in his approach, the way he's got that bat flat, and then he cocks it, wraps it behind his head. Justin Masterson said after the ball game he didn't pay attention to what was going on the other side. He said you can't pitch a game worrying about what's happening on the other side, but boy, when he got deep into that ball game, he looked like a guy who knew what was at stake and knew he could not make a single mistake.
Well, in a 1-0 game, you can't. You go out there, you trust your infielders. He got the strikeout ball. He struck out 4 in a row at one point in the game later.
2-1 count. He checks. It's a called strike. Bounced it in front of the plate, and Pierzynski with a nice block. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Is it me, or does Ogando just give the illusion of being a short armor, or for a big guy, he just doesn't look like he really extends that arm? It just looks like it pops right out.
Well, yeah, he rushes at you and you don't pick it up. You see, he hides it behind him and you never really get a good look at it. So that probably seems like it's a lot quicker than it truly is. And he's throwing 93 to 95.
Well, that's what I mean. It's coming at you in a hurry, but it doesn't look like he's got a big, long wind-up or delivery.
Look, you don't see the ball, you don't see anything until the last second, and the next thing you know, it's on you. So you start getting geared up for maybe that fastball, and to the lefties, he'll throw you that changeup. That can be tough to hit and stay back on.
Another foul by Kipnis with Swisher running on the play.
Well, they're just banking that Kipnis is going to put it in play when you're sending Swisher. He does not have a stolen base this year. It's a full count. So Terry Francona saying Kip is going to put the ball in play.
Ogando out of the stretch. Long pause. Now he deals. Swisher was running. And it's another foul back. And this will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Jason Kipnis. With Moreland holding Swisher at first, there's a pretty good hole on the right side. Swisher again takes off. Kipnis pops it up, foul, and just out of play. Well, you've sent him 3 pitches in a row. You might as well send him again.
Absolutely.
Huh?
You just don't think that Kip is going to swing and miss.
There goes Swisher. And another foul back. 95 miles an hour with that heater.
See if Swisher says anything to Kipnis on his way in. Like, come on, man, put it in play.
Ogando again sets. And Swisher draws a throw this time.
Last night in Kipnis' 4 at-bats, he saw 11 pitches. This is pitch number 11 here today in his first at-bat.
That also says a lot about you, Darvish.
Right.
3-2. Swisher again takes off. Kipnis again fouls it off. I mean, as well as Swisher, as well as Kipnis has swung the bat, it tells you that Darvish, when he gets ahead of you or he gets to 2 strikes, you're not going to foul pitches off and stay alive.
He puts you away.
Away. In the meantime, Nick Swisher is just hoping that Kipnis will put one in play here, preferably in a gap. He takes off. Kipnis lines it into right field. He almost picks Swisher off, and Nick will stop at second base. Boy, it's been an eventful first inning for Nick on the base paths. That line drive nearly caught him right in the chest.
That was a great at-bat. He fouled off 6 straight pitches before putting one in play. Ogando continued to fire strikes. It looked like a little slider or a cut fastball. And look at that. Swisher, if his head was down, he would have been drilled. So he's going to move up 1 base. Even when you start him, you can't do anything. He had to get out of the way. What a terrific at-bat. So back-to-back singles have the Indians in business now in the first.
And with one out, Asdrubal Cabrera will be the batter. Cabrera batting .400 in the series. And he takes ball one. You see the numbers on the year for Cabrera. He's hit in 4 straight games now, 8 for his last 18. That will even the count of 1-1. Since moving into the cleanup spot, Asdrubal's batting .381 with 5 runs batted in those 5 games. Weekly tapped towards second base. Had trouble getting it out of the glove. They'll only get the force at second base. Profar looked like he fumbled with it just slightly, and that erased any chance at a double play.
Yeah, the bobble did. Even though it was hit poorly, Cabrera got a bad jump out of the box, and he still would have been able to turn it, but I think he was trying to rush it a little bit because he knew it wasn't hit as hard as it should have been, and they would have been able to turn it, but they do not.
Here are the keys to the game, brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. For Ubaldo Jimenez, the strong start, you hope that continues, and can the righties do some damage against Alexi Ogando? Alexi Ogando in his 11 starts has not allowed an earned run in the first inning this year. Michael Brantley hoping to change that. He's 4 for 7 in the series with a double.
Well, we've seen it happen many times. You get that starter out of the stretch in the first inning, and he's battling to find command and control. That fastball has been all over. He's tougher on left-handers and right-handers because of that commanded fastball and the changeup.
Brantley with a high fly ball to left field. Back is David Murphy. He makes the catch and the inning is over. The Tribe strands a pair. No score after 1. McDonald's now introducing 3 exciting new Quarter Pounders. And by Kia. No score, second inning. A.J. Pierzynski leading off. Manu Baldo misses inside for ball one.
Did I just see a little hesitation from Ubaldo right there on the leg kick? It looked like he had a little pause up there. Check it out. Yeah.
Strike in there to Pierzynski in the count 1-1. Question is, was that intentional or was it simply that he almost loses balance?
I don't know.
To Hopper to second. Kipnis backhands it, throws him out, one away. Our great clip of the game from last night, Justin Masterson. So far this year, when he goes 7 innings or more, he is now 9-1 with an ERA of 1.18. He's done that 12 times last night. He was sensational. Great clips. It's going to be great. Now, and it's not a large sample size, but since the All-Star break, the Indians pitching staff overall has an ERA of 2.06. The starters' ERA is 1.61, and the opposition is hitting just 1.98. Now, they're not going to keep that up the whole rest of the way. But if they continue to pitch anywhere close to that, then you've got a chance to win every game.
Well,
and that's all you can ask for.
They're throwing strikes. They're not giving up a lot of walks and base runners. They're keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Yeah, not giving up the home
so
run.
they're making guys really get 2 or 3 hits to score, and it's tough to beat a team when you do that on a consistent basis. Even the games they lost on the road trip were 1-run losses, and they had a chance to win every one of those games. Not that you're going to do it, but it just, they're in a very good role right now.
Swung on and missed. Ubaldo with his second strikeout sends Murphy back to the bench, 2 down. Take a look at our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. The Indians now tied with Tampa with 13 shutouts to lead the league. Pittsburgh leads the National League. They also have 13 shutouts. Three of those shutouts have come in the month of July, and the Indians' staff ERA is just 3.58 this month. Jurickson Profar, his first at bat in the series. We saw this guy make his debut against the Indians last year, and boy, was he something to watch. And a strike called over the outside edge. Look at that. In the 5 games he's played against the Indians, 7 for 13.
Well, you couldn't have a better start than he had right here in this ballpark. Homered in his first major league at bat.
Just a tad high on the breaking ball.
Let's take a look at this on our Nissan pitch tracker upstairs.
Profar debuted here last September at the age of just 19. And in that first major league plate appearance on the 4th pitch, he became just the 3rd teenager to hit a home run in his first major league career game. Or first major league at bat, I should say.
And then doubled in his second at bat.
In the air, Michael Bourne. No, I'm sorry, it's Ryan Rayburn. And the Texas Rangers go 1-2-3, and we are scoreless middle of the second. For the Tribe, Carlos Santana, Ryan Rayburn, and Lonnie Chisenhall due up. Santana taking a called strike. The Indians will welcome in the Chicago White Sox for a 4-game series beginning tomorrow night. And then the Tribe will hit the road again for the weekend, but hope to see you out here at the ballpark this week. Chicago in town. The Indians playing very good baseball right now, just 3 games out of first.
Well, it will be a brief road trip. We go down to Miami and come right back for a 4-game series against the Tigers.
And that was my point I was going to get to eventually. That's another big one coming up here.
Yes, it is.
Love to see the fans come out for that series. Three-one pitch to Santana. Fouled right back out of play, a full count. Thirtieth pitch of the game for Ogando, and the 3-2 is popped up. Foul. Back to the screen. Pierzynski can't get to it. Philadelphia's out to an early 1-0 lead over Detroit. They're in the second inning at Comerica. But here's what you have for the Indians. The 4 games with Chicago. Then they'll hit the road. Brief weekend in Miami. Back home for 4 against Detroit. The Angels in for 3. And then the Indians are gone until, I think, September.
Yeah. Gone for the rest of the month, pretty much.
High, towering pop-up. First base. Moreland calling for it, and he's got it, 1 away. Let's have a look at the AT&T trivia question today. Name the 2 longest tenured living Hall of Famers. We'll have the answer coming up later in the ballgame. Baseball Hall of Fame, of course, celebrating its big weekend in Cooperstown, although, unfortunately, no one was voted in by the writers this year. They do have some Veterans Committee
guys that were never really had an induction ceremony.
Yeah. Strike to Rayburn. Count 2-1. I think what's really of more interest is that Major League Baseball story today coming out that very likely MLB could announce the entire list of suspensions related to the biogenesis scandal. That could come out this week. According to a story in the New York Post, one of the reasons they might want to do it is that the suspensions would all be able to be handled within the rest of this year, and so next year you would start with a clean slate, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Rayburn draws a 1-out walk, and it will bring up Lonnie Chisenhall. Lonnie Chisenhall 0 for 1 with a walk in the series. Called on the outside corner. Got a piece, and the count 0-2. Down and in. Chisnall able to lay off. Yankees trying to avoid a third straight loss to Tampa Bay at home. They were out to the early lead over the Rays. Line just foul, first base side.
Boy, put a good swing on a breaking ball. Went over the head of Moreland fair, but it had hook to it. He got out in front of it and hit it hard. And just missed by about a foot or so. That was the breaking ball down and in. He loves that. That's his spot. You can see Moreland didn't have a chance, and it did not miss by much.
Foul again. It stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right back up the middle, could be 2 here.
Right between the umpire's legs.
Tim McClellan got beat to 5-hole.
Yeah.
And it goes 4-6-3 on the inning-ending double play. No score through 2. A cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. No score, third inning, bottom third, or I should say the bottom 2 of the Texas lineup here. Mitch Moreland, Leonis Martin. Then we'll turn it back over to Ian Kinsler at the top. Fastball strike to Moreland, who is 0 for 8 in the series. That fastball came back over the Inside part of the plate for a strike. It's 0-2. And he swung and missed to strike him out. Third K for Ubaldo. One down here in inning number 3. Let's go back downstairs and hear from Katie Witham once again.
Well, I spoke with Indians pitching coach Mickey Callaway today, and he told me they've really been working with Ubaldo Jimenez to try to get him to go deeper into the game. They believe the key in that is for him to throw more fastballs. That's what they stressed to Yan Gomes, who's catching him today for just the third time, that they want to see him do. Now, Matt, going into the third inning, he had only thrown 38% fastballs, but that last at bat there, all fastballs.
Off the mound, Ubaldo plants, throws, got him. Nice play by Ubaldo Jimenez to retire Leonis Martin on the bunt attempt.
Well, he got off the mound, and that was really a nice play. He bare hands it, plants, gets it up, and just barely does get Martin. These guys, he's shown he's not afraid to bunt. He's a good bunter. Puts pressure on the defense, but a very good play by Jimenez to retire him. Well, the first time through that lineup, Ubaldo's had 5 0-2, 1-2 counts. Something you love to see.
Well, and the other thing, too, with Ubaldo, and we were talking about this before the game, with regards to fastballs and throwing more fastballs in his starts, it kind of depends on, are you talking four-seam fastball or, that sinking fastball? But the four-seamer is the one that you want to throw traditionally when you need a strike. And he throws the sinker more heavily than he does the four-seamer. More usage of that sinking fastball, which is a harder one to command, though.
Yes, it is. You know what? There's nothing wrong with going out with a four-seamer to get strike one and then go to your two-seamer. I mean, they're both fastballs, but the key is in the first 3 pitches. Instead of the 2-1 count, you should have the 1-2 count. And he's done a good job that first time through the lineup.
Kinsler's ahead here, 2-1. And a fastball four-seamer missing down. It's 3-1.
Hitters get the advantage when they start swinging that third pitch and they start getting the count into their favor. 2-1, 3-1, where we're at now, because they can zone in.
Eliminate doubt. Popped in the air, though, to right field. Ryan Rayburn is there. And a 9-pitch inning for Ubaldo Jimenez. He cruises through the third. He's retired 7 in a row. Field. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. Yan Gomes, Michael Bourne, Nick Swisher due up for the Tribe. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and we're happy to be joined now by Sonny Siebert, former Indians pitcher, here for the weekend and taking part with the fans here this weekend? Has it been fun to come back for you?
It's been a pleasure, and I think I'm good luck, too. So they might keep me a little while.
It's been a great weekend so far.
Matter of fact, we have 4 games with the White Sox. If we win today, they're going to extend your stay for 4 more days.
All right.
Sonny, of course, pitcher with the Cleveland Indians. But now, as I understand it, if I read it correctly, you didn't start your career. You didn't come up necessarily as a pitcher. You started out as an outfielder. Is that right?
I signed as an outfielder and spent a couple years in the minor leagues as an outfielder and a few injuries. Ended up changing to pitching when I was about 24 years old. Played about 3 years in the minor leagues and came up. When 27 years old, I was my first year in the big leagues.
How about that? And as I understand it, you were rehabbing from a broken ankle and you were just throwing batting practice, and somebody saw you and said, "Hey, that guy might make a good pitcher."
Right. They sent me to winter ball to more or less get my ankle well, and they thought I'd be able to play the outfield, but the ankle didn't come around. So to keep me busy, they just let me throw batting practice. And Spud Chandler, who was our pitching coach, he was impressed with me, and he kind of said, "Hey, Sonny, you might make it as an outfielder, but I think it'll make it a lot faster as a pitcher." So anyway, he got me interested in pitching.
He knew what he was talking about, didn't he? But did you pitch at all when you were younger, when you were a kid? Obviously, you had to.
No, I never.
Really?
Oh, how about that? Ball drops, and they'll get the force at second anyway. Lost it in the sun, did Yerkes and Profar, but they still are able to force Gomes at second. 1 out. Sorry, Sonny, go ahead.
No, I more or less was an infielder, and for University of Missouri, I played first base. I never did play the outfield neither, and they signed because they had a pretty good arm in right field, but I wasn't much of a right fielder at all.
And you went right into pitching. That's amazing. Now the difference when you pitched and came up in the 60s and pitched with the good teams here, they didn't have pitch count back then. So on an average, when you went out and started a game, did you have any idea how many pitches you may throw in the course of a game?
I threw a lot because I was mainly a fastball pitcher, and God gave me a good fastball, and he blessed me, and that's probably the reason I got to be a pitcher. And Bertie Tebbs was more or less a fastball pitching manager. You couldn't pitch for Bertie unless you had a good fastball. So when I went out there, I threw mostly fastballs, and it took a little while before I learned how to pitch, the sliders and changeups and stuff like that.
Yeah. But would you say 120, 130 pitches maybe would you go?
Probably more than that because, like I said, when you fastball, in the old Cleveland Stadium, you got a lot of foul balls.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, you might throw 13 pitches to one hitter. So they probably had it pretty fast, and then we were all kind of strikeout pitchers, so we usually threw a lot of pitches.
Was there good competition among that pitching staff? Because there were so many good hard throwers on that staff. Oh,
it was a great staff, and I learned a lot. I'm probably the least experienced pitcher because I started so late, but I learned from Sam McDowell and Louis Tion and Sam Williams and Steve Hargan. These guys all pitched since they were in high school, and they knew a lot more than I did. And like I said before, I was blessed to have Bertie Tebbs as a manager. He didn't let me get in a lot of trouble. And so we say with my best pitch was the fastball.
Yeah. What was the difference back before 68 after they lowered the mound? How much difference did that make as a pitcher going from that 1 year to the next?
Well, for a fastball pitcher, I think the higher the mound is, the better, better for me.
You're throwing it downhill.
And I could tell the difference, and it's just a different type of game. And I think at that stage in my career, I knew how to pitch a little bit, so my game plan was more or less keep the ball down by the knees and to keep away from the high fastball. But it was tougher.
Yeah.
Now, another story I read, you had a pitching coach, obviously, at the ballpark, but you had another pitching coach at home. And as I understand it, your wife was kind of giving you some grief, and you said to her as you walked out the door, "Look, if you'll stay off my back, I'll throw a no-hitter." And you did.
Yeah, but I was kidding.
No, you weren't.
Actually, another story is I had a routine. I normally, I like to lay down, get off my feet for about a half hour, and then go to the ballpark. But this day here was a little unusual because at that time, he probably about 7 years old, my son Scott, he wanted to play catch. So I took him out in the front yard, and we played catch for about half an hour. And now I'm driving to the ballpark, and I'm sitting there, "Hey, did I throw too much already?"
You left it all in the front yard.
Right.
The 11th no-hitter in Indians history was authored by Sonny Siebert. Joe Askew was behind the dish, and he's going to come up and join us next inning. What do you remember most about that particular night? Because that's a special piece of baseball history.
Right. Well, the one thing I remember mostly is we got in ninth inning, and you can tell you're pitching no-hitter the way the players are reacting. And anyway, Joe, we kind of talked it over, and I kind of said to Joe, I said, let's just go with the hard stuff. So I think in the ninth inning, I think I threw all fastballs. But it cost me a no-hitter later when I was with the Red Sox. I got in the ninth inning with a no-hitter, and I didn't throw as hard. And I went with the same theory, and I lost my no-hitter.
Well, I mean, but you've been there, so you went with experience.
Right.
Even though you lost a little bit on your fastball, yeah, but you would have been upset if you threw a breaking ball and gave up a hit instead of sticking with what you planned on the first time.
Exactly. You're right.
You dance with who brung you, right?
Yeah, that's
the end of the day.
That's right.
2 on, 1 out here in the third. Jason Kipnis trying to get the Indians on the board first. Alexi Ogando delivers, and Kipnis drives one high in the air, deep to right, but back is Cruz. He'll make the catch. Tagging at second and going to third is Bourne. And now there are 2 outs for Asdrubal Cabrera.
Sonny, this is a little bit of a different environment here than when we played down on the lake, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful ballpark. I was surprised to find out it's 20 years old.
Yeah, it really is.
To me, it looks like it's been here like 5 years or so. Actually, it's almost same as San Luis Cardinals that played St. Con Ballpark, and it looks the same to me. But, yeah, brought back memories, though, the old field back there.
Well, you spend your time in St. Louis now, where you're from, Missouri, and you said you have 14 grandkids now?
14 grandkids, and I go probably to the game every night.
Of course you do.
They all play baseball, soccer, basketball, so I'm there.
Are there any of your grandsons that may have an opportunity? Are they old enough to even focus, concentrate a lot on baseball now?
Well, actually, I have 2 grandsons that are twins, and they're going to be seniors in high school. And they're very good basketball players. And if they're big enough, I don't know if they're big enough, but they're good enough.
Yeah.
So now, what they do in college, I have no idea, but they're pretty good high school basketball players.
That'd be nice if they can get a college education paid for out of it, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Asdrubal Cabrera with first and third and 1 out here in inning number 3. Broken bat. Will it drop? No, it won't. It'll stay up, and the center fielder Martin makes the catch to end the inning. Sonny, thanks for stopping by. It was great to catch up with you.
My pleasure.
Sonny Siebert, author of a no-hitter for the Indians, is our guest here today. Joe Askew when we come back. No score, 4th inning. Indians and the Rangers, Elvis Andrus, Nelson Cruz, and Adrian Beltre due up here. Ubaldo Jimenez on the hill. We are joined now in the booth by the immortal Joe Askew, one of our favorites, and always great to see you. How you been?
My God, it's so great to see you two guys. You guys are amazing. You're the best.
No, you saying that because you're on our show. You tell us the truth.
The truth, you guys are so worse. It's unbelievable. Golly. Every time we go out, they never buy nothing. They
That's
just have
true.
to come up with the money.
You've been carrying us a long time.
Oh, my God. 15 years now, big fellow.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I know you before, you know.
I know.
When you were a little kid.
I know.
I'm about 90 years old.
Next time we come to Kansas City, I'll buy you dinner.
Oh, yeah, next month or
Yes,
September.
indeed.
Yeah.
September.
So how you been?
I've been great. My God, yes. Getting every day. Every day is a good day for me.
All right,
You know?
you spent the weekend here in Cleveland. Now you've been here a number of times. You come here every year. You usually come for the golf outing, and you've done fantasy camp for numerous years. It's still doing very well, isn't it?
Yes, my God, I love to come over here. Really, this is Kansas City is my home, but this is my second home. In the United States, I love to come over here.
Joe, we were talking with Sonny Siebert,
Yes.
who obviously authored a no-hitter. You were behind the dish.
Yeah.
And that staff was unbelievable. They all could throw hard. They could all make hitters look bad. What made Sonny Siebert different, especially on that night when he was able to throw the no-hitter?
Well, you see that Sonny he threw inside and outside. The slider, it was breaking flat. It was, and it was just unbelievable. His control, it was great. And I was guiding. You see, he told me a while ago. He said, you were a good catcher because you were all the time corner to corner, and you were changing the rhythm of the game when the guy, he did have a good fastball one inning, the next inning no fastball, you had to change it. So his fastball that day was unbelievable.
He said in the ninth inning, he talked to you in the dugout, and he said, let's go. We're just going to go with fastballs in the ninth inning when he got the no-hitter, and you did that, huh?
Yeah, I did that. Yes, let's go. Let's go finish this with your best pitch is fastball. Let's go show him.
Well, you caught another no-hitter with Clyde Wright, right?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
what was the difference between the two, if any?
That it was the same way pitching, but then you see you're facing major league hitters, but that time it was facing the Oakland A's.
Right.
Unbelievable.
They can hit.
They can hit. And he was throwing a batting practice pitching. We call it a batting practice fastball. He just go
taking something off.
Yeah.
And he got by with his batting practice fastball to the good hitting Oakland A's team.
Good hitting.
They were gearing up for the hard one, and they couldn't.
Yeah. And he used to throw, Clyde Wright used to throw, I used to go for a slider, and he used to throw me a backup slider. I was like, what is that?
He didn't know he was throwing it.
That's right.
He tried to throw the slider, and it backs up. Nowadays, you know what they call that? A cement mixer. Because they throw it, and it just stays up there and spins.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't break like you're supposed to get it.
Well, Joe Borowski saved 45 games with that backup slider in 2007.
Last night I saw Perez throwing like a fastball, and the fastball just came back.
Oh, yeah. On the inside part of the plate to left-handers,
yes.
there's a few guys that do that. It's a good pitch nowadays.
Yeah. We used to call that a screwball.
Yeah.
Some people call it a reverse sinker, comeback fastball. Swung on and missed. Boy, Ubaldo, he's carving them up. 10 in a row set down by the Indians right-hander. You want to stick around for another half?
Sure.
Let the Indians bat while you're here.
Yeah, sure. My God. If you let me.
The fourth inning. Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, Ryan Rayburn due up for the Tribe. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning. We're visiting with Joe Askew as the Indians come to bat here looking for the first run of this ball game. Another pitcher's duel. We had a good pitcher's duel last night. When you played, in particular in the 60s, that was really the time of the pitchers. I mean, it was the pitcher's era, wasn't it?
Yes.
They dominated.
Yeah, dominated. They were not too. The guy who led the league was 302. There was more.
Who was that, Karl Yastrzemski?
Yeah.
That was 1968. That was when
Yeah.
Louis Tiant had a 1.60 ERA.
Oh my God, he was unbelievable. Our pitching staff, it was unbelievable. I mean, I always say that the Indians in those years we were short of two players.
Hitters?
Yeah.
Ground ball to short. Elvis Andrews throws out Michael Brantley one away.
All right, in your years from playing, what pitcher did you catch that had the best stuff going?
Well, we got a left-hander there named Sam McDowell.
Right, I had a feeling.
And it was the best. I used to cut him with no sign.
No signs?
No.
Why?
Because he changes all the time. So I say, now you throw, I catch you.
No, as hard as he threw.
Yeah.
Because I've had players tell me that he has one of the best fastballs, curveballs, changeups, everything. He had some of the best of everything. How could you do that?
I was geared up for the fastball, but then I adjust for the curveball.
Make an adjustment.
An adjustment. And quick.
You were a hitter behind the plate.
Quick. So I used to tell to the hitter, say, I don't know what is that guy is throwing.
And you were actually being honest.
Honest to God. The funny thing about Sam, it's great. It's the greatest pitch I ever caught in my life. I mean, he's just one of the best. He used to get every hitter 3-2, and then he used to pick him up in first base. I was like, why?
He felt like doing it, huh?
Yeah. I was like, unbelievable. Foul ball.
Out of play. Santana popped up.
But it was just unbelievable. But one of the best and everything. And boy, that pitching staff, Jesus. Sonny Sieber, Louis Tiant, Hargan.
Yeah, Sam
Gary
McDowell.
Bell.
Gary, right.
Mudcat Grant. You name it.
Who was the soft tosser of the group?
The soft tosser, Kralik. Kralik was a soft tosser.
See, that's why he never mentioned him.
No.
Because he's a soft tosser.
He's a tough tosser. He only threw 90 miles an hour. That's a tough tosser.
All right, now you follow the game today. You obviously watch. You still watch a lot of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
What are the changes that you may see? When you look at it as a catcher from the pitching standpoint today. The starters don't go as long in a game.
Yeah.
It's more of a specialty game going out in the bullpen. But give me your quick assessment of that. Just how the game has changed since you were in it.
Well, some of the pitchers they have maybe 3 pitchers. All of the other pitchers used to have 4 pitchers. They can throw a fastball, curveball, a slider, changeup, and somebody threw a spitter. But anyway, the same thing. There were a little bit of fundamental going to the game. There were more bunting. More dragging bunting for the hitters. You don't see a lot of those right now.
People swing for home runs.
Home runs and everything. They just don't go. Man, if you see the guy playing third base back or first base, drag it. Mickey Mantle used to drag the ball.
Yeah.
Has it changed? Do you think has it changed for the pitchers? Because hitters no longer shorten up with 2 strikes to put the ball in play. They're still trying to hit home runs with 2 strikes.
Yes, because they're not allowed to pitch inside
like
they used to.
Right.
I mean, pitching inside like they used to. Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But you see the same thing right there outside. You see, they just they. In the olden days, we used to go more corners.
Well, you can't live in the middle of the play.
No, you live in a play, you just forget it. You better pack your bag and go home, But it just, it's different. You see, like you were talking about many pitchers they can throw, It just, that's the setup through the minor leagues. You're allowed to go to 100 pitches. Then you got the set of a guy you have to need to be.
And nowadays, back then, would they carry a 10-man pitching staff?
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have a 13-man pitching staff. So it's, it's turned into more of a specialized game when it comes to the pitchers.
Yeah, and you just the manager used to go to the mound and say, "We're going to change it." Say, don't give. They don't want to give him the ball.
Yeah, the starters.
That's how they forget it.
And if you were in the bullpen back in that day, you wouldn't pitch because you weren't good enough to start.
You're good enough, and if you want to be the closer, you got like a starter. You need to be pitched. I need you to throw your 1 inning.
Right.
That's what's the closer.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count here on Ryan Rayburn with 2 down in the 4th inning. No score. We're visiting with Joe Askew. Alexei Agando's payoff pitch. Fouled back. That goes flying over toward the on-deck circle.
He got a piece of it. And look at that. That thing still.
That was a Joe Askew foul ball. If I used to hit the foul ball like that, my body used to go over there. Excuse me.
I mean, you threw the bat like that?
Yeah, all the way.
Did you ever wear gloves? Never.
No.
Didn't do it back then. Did you
pine
use
tar.
Pine tar?
My hands was full of pine tar. The pitcher used to love it.
Oh, sure. Those balls when you guys back then, they were dark.
The 3-2.
Oh.
Rayburn just got under it. Pops it to fairly deep left field. Murphy is there. And he makes the catch. Joe, great to catch up with you. Thanks for stopping by.
It's a pleasure, my God. Pleasure.
Joe Askew with us. Still no score through 4 here in Cleveland. To you by the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. A.J. Pierzynski, David Murphy, and Jurickson profile for Texas here in the 5th inning. Ubaldo Jimenez has retired 10 straight Rangers hitters, and Pierzynski fouls it off. Strike 1. Talking with Joe Askew, and in particular talking about Major League Baseball during the 1960s, I heard an interview one time with Frank Robinson, who played for the Cincinnati Reds during that decade and played against guys like Don Drysdale. And he talked about how just the different time that it was and how pitchers pitched inside. And they didn't just pitch inside. They knocked you down.
Right.
And Frank Robinson said, when I faced Don Drysdale, he said, if I had 3 at-bats, it felt like I boxed 15 rounds because I was down in the dirt so many times, getting decked by a pitch. But there were no hard feelings. He said, I respected the way he competed. I respected the way he went about his business. If a guy tried to do that today, they'd be charging the mounds. They'd be hooting.
He'd be in the dugout. He'd be thrown out of the game.
I just don't know when and why it all changed
You know, pitching inside and throwing at somebody's head are two different things.
Sure, but
You know.
I've seen the film. Drysdale wasn't just brushing you back. He was knocking right under your chin, knocking you down.
Yeah. Well, I can't answer that question, when it changed and why it changed. Or, you know, those guys back in their day, they never wore body armor. They never had.
There was no such thing.
Right. First of all, it wasn't invented. You were lucky to have long sleeves.
Cut a piece of garbage can out and tape it to your arm and go up there.
You know, so there was no protection. I mean, Brzezinski's got it on the front elbow right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, guys, if you wanted to get on the plate back in those days, you bore the brunt of the punishment.
Bourne got a late break, can't get to it. And Brzezinski with a line drive single to center field snaps that string of 10 in a row set down by Ubaldo. Back to the Hyundai Studios we go for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt and Rick, the captain is back in New York. Derek Jeter, his first at-bat today, gone. His first home run of the season. However, the Yankees are playing a hot team in the Tampa Bay Rays. They have stormed back. They have the lead now 4-3 over New York. Bottom of the third inning at Yankee Stadium. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Philadelphia leads Detroit 2-0. Up at Comerica Park in the Motor City. Question is, the return of Derek Jeter, will it be enough for the Yankees, who are 8 games off the pace at days
I think it may be a little
done,
late.
just 4 games above 500.
This is Ubaldo's first 2-0 count, and we are in the 5th inning.
Foul down the right side. Yeah, Will Myers with a 3-run homer in that game for Tampa. Boy, that kid.
He's getting
his opportunity, and he is starting to show everybody why he was so highly touted.
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence the way Tampa's playing and since his call-up. I think they have 25 or 26 wins since they called him up, and a lot of it has to do with good pitching, I understand, but he adds a little bit of offense that they never had.
A team that needed some pop. All of a sudden, Ubaldo a hit and a walk here in the 5th inning. The injury report today brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. For Texas, Lance Berkman with a hip injury. Nick Tepesh, a bad elbow. And some big arms on the 60-day DL, too. Matt Harrison, Natali Feliz, Colby Lewis. But everybody has injuries. Everybody's got issues this time of year.
You battle your way through them. Texas has done a nice job to this point going through it, but how long can you sustain it? You know, you can't do it for a long time. The Yankees have done it. Now they're starting to fade after the 100 games where they've had to play so well without a lot of their top players. Well, for Ubaldo, this is the first time that Texas has had anything going. First time they've ever had 2 runners on in an inning. Well, they did in the first, and then he got the double play ball.
Bunt. Chisenhall. 1 away as Profire is retired on the sacrifice that will be scored 5-3. And 2 in a scoring position now with only 1 out.
Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPad, and you can download it free today.
In other news, Major League Baseball today, the Angels put Albert Pujols on the DL. He's been dealing with that plantar fasciitis in his foot. He's got a tear in that foot now, so he's on the DL. You wonder how long that move will last. There's a high pop
That's
Won't
not
be
gonna
deep
get it
enough to
done.
get him home. Cabrera, the shortstop, makes the catch, and the runners have to hold 2 down. And Mitch Moreland, after popping up, is 0 for his last 19. Leonis Martin, a comebacker his first time up. Second and third with 2 down, 1-0 pitch. In the dirt and a good pick there by Jan Gomes, is going to go out and talk to Ubaldo, who's fallen behind 2-0 here with Ian Kinsler waiting on deck. Boy, for so long when George Steinbrenner was running the New York Yankees, it was an ongoing soap opera. And now the soap opera continues, and it has nothing to do with George Steinbrenner, but the latest is Hal Steinbrenner. According to Yankees general manager Brian Cashman, he ordered that they make the deal to get Alfonso Soriano. Cashman saying publicly he didn't want to give up the young pitcher that they gave up. It's unbelievable, the public relations fiasco that it's become in New York lately. Between that and all the stories around the Alex Rodriguez situation.
Well, yeah, you can hear just about anything you want coming out of there.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're done playing them. We don't have to see it or go through it again. We can look at it from afar.
Second and third, Ubaldo Jimenez delivers a 2-1 pitch and a swing and a miss by Martin. He was geared up for the hard stuff, and he took something off, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it was a good location. Down, looked like a changeup to me. Down below the strike zone. Good pitch. One pitch away from getting out of it.
The 2-2. Just a bit inside and a full count. Payoff pitch. Chopped to first. Whoa, what a backhanded stop by Swisher. Drops it, picks it up, steps on the bag to end the inning. The Rangers strand a pair in scoring position, and Ubaldo continues his shutout through 5. No score through 5 for Ubaldo Jimenez. Just a 2-hit shutout he's dealing, thanks to Nick Swisher, who made a great backhanded stop to keep the Rangers off the board. Now in the bottom half of the 5th inning, the Indians will send Lonnie Chisenhall to the plate, followed by Jan Gomes and Michael Bourne. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Swung on and missed. And a count 0-2. Strike 3 called. Lonnie Chisenhall is out on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Ogando, and that was borderline at best as Marvin Hudson rings him up. All right, who are the longest 2 tenured living Hall of Famers? The AT&T trivia question answer.
How about Yogi as one? I don't know. Sandy Koufax, no kidding.
We were just talking about players of the 1960s. Sandy Koufax, perhaps the pitcher of the decade, and yet his career was cut short by arm injury.
When I think of Yogi, I don't think of Sandy Koufax in the same breath.
I don't
you know
either.
what I mean?
Think of Yogi's being more, I guess, older, I guess.
Well, he is. Yogi
right?
is a lot older. But they were both inducted in the same year, so there you have it. I think Sandy, would he play for 9 years?
Well, I guess that makes sense. Yogi played a lot longer, but when his career ended, Koufax should have still been going, but his career, unfortunately, they didn't have the kind of medical advances we have now, and his career was over. I thought it was also interesting, too, Rick, reading about that period of the 1960s, Sandy Koufax, and a lot of people said, and we've talked about this a lot, run support. They probably didn't talk about it back then. He had no run support. And the players who watched him and were part of his team said every time he went out there, the game was 1-0 or 2-1.
Yeah.
And so they feel like because he had to maximize effort on every pitch when he pitched, that probably led to the shortened career that he had.
Well, yeah, you don't disagree with that. They have another left-hander out there now that gets the same thing, that is a pretty darn good left-hander.
Clayton Kershaw. Jan Gomes drives one deep down the left field line. Is it fair? No, it just went foul right in front of the big wall. Deep down into that corner. So the count 3-2 for Jan Gomes, who singled his first time up.
Well, a little bit out front. I watched Gomes. He had a nice pitch to hit, a hanging breaking ball. And just off the end of the bat, he was a tad too quick on it. It wouldn't have had the distance, but it certainly could have been a double.
Right at the shortstop this time, and Elvis Andrus will throw him out, 2 down.
Well, you want to make a date for the 2-night Rock and Blast Fireworks Spectacular. It's going to take place August 9th and 10th. The Indians will host the Angels, and fans will be treated to an expanded fireworks display, and it's got to be a dandy because it's going to pay tribute to the Rolling Stones' 50th anniversary this year. That'll be a fun 2 nights.
And on the grass at third is Adrian Beltre, and Michael Bourne taking ball 1. Bourne flied to deep left his first time up. Bounced into a fielder's choice back in the third. 2-0. 80 pitches now delivered by Alexi Ogando. 53 of those have been strikes. Just a bit outside. 3-0. Nick Swisher waiting on deck. He's already 2 for 2 in the game. Bourne looked like he was taken all the way. It's 3-1. The Indians have really played well against the Western Division this year. They're 15-4, including a perfect 10-0 at home.
Well, and they have a few more games against the Western Divisions. After Texas leaves, they'll get the Angels here, and they'll go to L.A., Oakland. We will visit there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it, I think.
And Houston here later in the year.
Oh, that's right, Houston.
3-2 pitch is down low. And a 2-out walk for Michael Bourne will keep the inning alive for Nick Swisher, who's a perfect 2 for 2 on the day. Swisher singled to right field in the first. He singled to left field in the third. Bourne has 13 steals on the year. And a strike is called, 0-1. Pierzynski threw out Bourne in the series opener with a perfect throw right on the bag to get him. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Pierzynski keeps it right there, and it's 0-2. You know, the thing I think back on that, at the time when Bourne stole that base, the Indians were up, I think, 7-1 or 7-2 at the time, and you thought, that's no big deal. It was the first out of the inning when they had scored the 4 runs.
Right.
You didn't think anything of it at the time, and then the Rangers roared back to tie it and ultimately force extra innings. Another pitch in the dirt. This one Swisher lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ogando delivers, and another pitch that bounced in front of the plate.
Must be a changeup that he's throwing. Spiking it. You can see this one way out in front. Al Pierzynski, look at he did a beautiful job. That hit him right in the middle of the chest protector. Look at this. Right on the Nike swoosh, and it puts it right out in front of the plate. Tommy Bowe informs me that's 7 in the dirt like that today so far for Ogando. So I think if you're the catcher on that given day and you know he's pitching, you better be ready.
Yeah.
To dig down and then be ready to block.
Could be another one in the dirt right here. That one was up, and Swisher fouled it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 5th. No score. The Indians have 4 hits on the day. Texas just 2. Right back up the middle, and Nick Swisher is 3 for 3. Michael Bourne will go to third. And Nick Swisher has singled to right left, and now center.
Well, he's had good at-bats. He got a pitch up, and it looked like a high changeup that he took right back up the middle. So Bourne with 2 outs gets the third easily. So it keeps it going, but it's still going to take a big hit to get him on the board.
Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, out to talk with Ogando. There's our AT&T U-Verse rewind. Back in the first inning, Nick Swisher was at first base, and he kept running, and Jason Kipnis kept fouling them off. 6 in a row before he finally hit a line drive that almost hit Swisher as he was heading towards second base.
Well, with Ogando on the mound this year, when you look at him through the lineup, the first time through the lineup, they hit 200 off him. The second time, it's 244. And the third time, it goes up to 269. So the first 2 guys and the 2 guys on base, the walk and the base hit, that's the third time through the lineup. So they're 1 for 1.
It's a tough way to get him home, but the Indians starting this rally with 2 outs and nobody on base. So far in the series, they're 0 for 11 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. They've been one of the better teams in baseball all season long. 4th best still entering today. And Kipnis with a drive towards right field. It's dropping and Cruz short hops it. The Indians will take the lead as Bourne scores. Jason Kipnis, his 2nd hit of the ball game, and his 63rd run batted in on the year. The Indians do indeed strike with 2 outs in the 5th to take a 1-0 lead.
Well, he heard you talking about it. He picked on a fastball inside, and it looked like it had a little topspin. This will be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Cruz came in and made a nice attempt. There's nothing he could do. He had a good break on it. He continued to come in, but he short hops it and picks it. So the walk, 2-out walk. Michael Bourne comes around to score.
And that's going to be it for Ogando. Ron Washington going to make the move, Rick, here in the 5th inning.
Well, you know, he has been hurt. He's had arm problems this year, so they're not going to push him.
Well, he's at 92 pitches, and after giving up the first and only run of this game, Ogando heads to the bench. And today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. It's left-hander Robbie Ross when we come back. More here in the 5th inning as they've got 2 on with 2 out. 3 straight reaching after 2 outs, nobody on base in the inning. Robbie Ross, the new pitcher for Texas, 46th appearance on the year. Ross, a 4-2 record and an ERA, as you see there, of 2.40. Ross will be facing Asdrubal Cabrera, who will turn around and bat right-handed for the first time here today. Ross worked an inning and a third of two-hit scoreless relief in the series opener. Outside with it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ross was a second-round pick of the Rangers back in 2008 out of Lexington Christian High School in Kentucky.
Well, he came at him with a fastball. Cabrera was ready. He took a good cut at it and fouled it off.
Swung out and missed, threw it by him, and the inning is over. The Indians get on the board first. Jason Kipnis with a 2-out RBI single. 1-0 Tribe through 5.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, you get updates from Browns training camp. You get to know Tribe prospect Cody Anderson and follow along on Indians Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com.
Ubaldo Jimenez, 5 shutout innings on just 2 hits. First hit he allowed came to Elvis Andrus in the first inning. He didn't give up another hit until A.J. Pierzynski led off the 5th with a single. Kinsler caught in between, 0-2 the count. Kinsler was called out on strikes in the first. He flied to right back in the third. No real surprise that the Indians scored their only run of this game in the 5th. They scored 86 runs in the 5th inning this year. That's been their best, and it's been the best of any team in the 5th inning in all of baseball.
Well, and the only opportunity the Rangers had today was back in the 5th, and he was able to pitch around it. They had second and third and 1 out. Got a pop up and a ground out.
2-2 to Kinsler. Full count. And he walks him. A leadoff walk. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Ubaldo Jimenez has been terrific through 5 innings. He's given up just 2 hits. He has struck out 4. And the only run of this game, a 2-out RBI hit by Jason Kipnis in the bottom of the 5th. Plating Michael Bourne with the game's only run. Elvis Andrus 1 for 2. He doubled back in the 1st. And it's up high for ball 1.
Well, unfortunately, he came right out of the chute 0-2 on Kinsler and then walked him on 4 straight and throws 1 here.
Well, now the bullpen is springing into action.
That's because, for whatever reason, it's that 6th inning. Ubaldo has gone 6 innings 6 times this year, 6 or more, I should say. But he's been breezing today, and now all of a sudden it's 6 straight balls. He only had one other 2-0 count today. That was his second one, or this is his second one. His third.
All right, Rich Hill is up in the Tribe bullpen along with Brian Shaw. Throw to first, back with a dive is Kinsler. Now the 2-0. Right down Broadway. Looks like a Halloween costume he's sporting there.
No doubt.
2-1 pitch. Almost looked like he had Count Dracula fangs, didn't it? Sticking out of his mouth with the eye black coming down the sides of his face.
Let's see that. I see football players doing that, but that's a first for me.
Three balls and a strike. In the air to center field. Michael Bourne has it played perfectly. And we've got one gone in the 6th.
Well, 2014 season ticket renewals are coming soon, and the investment as the Indian season ticket holder remains along in the best in baseball. You'll receive access to the best locations at Progressive Field, postseason ticketing priority, and many other exclusives.
Now Nelson Cruz, who has walked and flied to center today. Down in the dirt, ball 1. Tigers Phillies tied at 3. They're in the 6th in Detroit. Yankees Rays now tied at 5. They're in the 5th in New York. Here it's 1-0 Indians. And Cruz fouls it back out of play. Perfect pitch over the outside part of the plate. Gets ahead 1-2. Now Ubaldo comes set. He fires up and in. Knocks Cruz back. 2-2. Adrian Beltre waiting on deck for Texas here in the 6th. Kinsler draws a throw back safely. swung on and missed. Gomes dropped it on the transfer. He was going to try to snap a throw down to first base, but there are 2 down now in the inning.
Give him a little different arm angle there on the breaking ball. I mean, and he has had problems with him in the past. That's it, a little different arm angle. He ends up getting him to chase that little slider off the dish. Gets his 5th strikeout.
Now Beltre, who is 0 for 2 on the day, hits one high in the air to left field. Back is Brantley. He's got plenty of room. Makes the catch. And another goose egg for Ubaldo. Middle of the 6th, 1-0 Cleveland. Here at the ball yard as the Indians wraps up this 3-game series against Texas, trying to make it a 3-game sweep. Chicago will come in tomorrow night to start a 4-game series. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then Thursday a 12 o'clock game to wrap up the homestand. Slider celebrating his birthday here this afternoon. Tell you what's really been important for the Indians is winning game 1 of a series. When they win the series opener, they've gone 13-2 with 3 splits. So 13 wins, 2 losses, 3 times they've split. So they win the opener. That usually bodes very well for them.
Home field advantage, baby. Take advantage of it.
And in the 3rd game of a series, they're 16-10 overall. Now the 1-1. Brantley with a base hit into right field. Pulled it right between first and second. And the Indians had their leadoff man aboard here in the 6th. And it's just the 2nd time today they've had their leadoff man aboard.
Michael picks on a fastball. Tried to throw it by him inside, sneak it by. Couldn't do it. You see he gets that front foot down. And gets the hands through. Base hit. 7th hit now for the Tribe. All have been singles. They've walked a couple of times today. Still, they have 1 run on the board.
Carlos Santana just 1 out of 8 in the series. And he takes a strike. – Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Down in the dirt. Boston trying to beat Baltimore again. They lead the Orioles 3-0. They're in the 4th inning. Did you see David Ortiz stat last night?
Yes, I did.
2-1 pitch. He not only snapped on the umpire, then he blew a gasket in the dugout and nearly wiped out a couple of his teammates.
Took the bat piece of the dugout. I don't know if it was the case for the helmets or whatever was in there. Or a phone. It was no longer.
Well, yeah, whatever it is doesn't exist anymore. Santana with a base hit to left field. Michael Brantley will stop at second, and the Indians greet Robbie Ross with a pair of hits to open the 6th inning. Now, if you happen to miss this from last night, check this out. Ortiz was batting. He thought he either had time called or it was ball 4, and the umpire called it a strike. He ended up swinging at a ball in the dirt to strike out. He went back. Look at this. With his teammates right there.
It's a long-distance call.
And he's screaming at the umpire, had to be held back by John Farrell. Dustin Pedroia trying to get him to calm down. I mean, he came unhinged. Mike Maddox out for a brief chat with Robbie Ross. Ryan Rayburn will be the batter. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Walked in the 2nd, flied to left his last time up. Rayburn, of course, the hero in the series opener when he hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th to make the Indians 11-8 winners over Texas. And then last night they won 1-0. They lead it 1-0 here today in the bottom of the 6th.
It's funny because it's a game where you look for him to call a bunt. In this situation, you look over, you got Chisenhall on deck with the left-hander on the mound. I'm sure they have a right-hander warming up.
Well, they had the bunt on the other night, and then they took it off, and he hit the game-winning home run.
That's because the infield was doing so many different things, the wheel play and something like that. So Terry took it off. He still felt like he wanted to bunt, but he knows his job here is to get the runners over.
Swung and missed at a high fastball, and it's 0-2. Rayburn batting with 2 on and nobody out here in the 6th. Fouled back out of play. Rayburn on the year has batted .300 with runners in scoring position. In the air, right field, pretty well hit. Back goes Cruz. Onto the track, makes the catch in front of the wall. And on his way to third goes Michael Brantley.
Well, I'm going to tell you, down the count 0-2. To inside out a ball to right field and get that runner over from second to third is a great job done by Ryan Rayburn. He's down in the count. A lot of guys go for themselves, but he did him a favor and threw him a breaking ball, but it was upstairs. But his inside out approach enabled him to stay on the ball, drive it to right field. He gets Brantley over from second to third. Job well done. That goes unnoticed in the box score, but your teammates know it.
We'll get a pinch hitter now for Lonnie Chisenhall. It'll be Mike Aviles. With a runner at third now. And 1 out. Of course, we also have Santana at first base. As Aviles tries to at least get that run home from third and make it a 2-0 game. Takes up high, ball 1. Mike on the year, 2 for 6. with an RBI as a pinch hitter. Popped him up, foul ground. Moreland back and makes the catch. So Aviles fouls out, and now there are 2 down. Golf pro Jimmy Hanlon will take you inside the golf zone tonight at 9 on Sports Time Ohio. Get golfing tips and find out the latest news from the PGA Tour. It's the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon tonight on Sports Time Ohio. If Jimmy was down here today, he could have hooked up with Sean Duffner. Saw him on the field before the ball
Jason
game.
Duffner.
I'm Jason Duffner.
Yeah.
I played college football with Sean Duffner.
Did you?
From Galion, Ohio. Yeah, but Jason Duffner, we saw him on the field talking to Terry Francona before the game.
Well, getting ready for that tournament down in Firestone next week, right? Next weekend?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next weekend, kind of a big weekend for Northeastern Ohio. You've got the World Series of Golf, or what used to be called, what is it called now? The Firestone Invitational? The WGC, and then you've got the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction ceremonies next weekend. We'll be
busy weekend down there.
We'll be down in Miami. Indians Marlins 3-game series. Yan Gomes, 2-0 pitch, drives it to left field. Dropping, will it stay fair? It will! Beltre can't make the play, he may be hurt. And now what are they saying?
That's foul ball. It's a foul ball.
There's no way.
Well,
there is no way that can be a foul ball.
Well, he came back and Andrus took the legs out from under him. He had it. And then all of a sudden the ball came out.
Wait a minute. I've got to see another
Francona's
look
coming
at this.
out. Now, don't worry. He's coming out to talk to him. You can see Brad Mills is right there. Washington's coming out to look at his third baseman. He's concerned there. What a tough play.
But it looked like it landed in fair territory, didn't it? Or am I
It hit
seeing
his
things?
glove. You know what? He was on the line.
Maybe we had a bad angle from up here. Take another look.
See, he's in foul territory. Beltre is. He's coming back to fair, and it is a foul ball.
Yep, you're right.
And then look at Andrus. It caught his leg. He had it, and then it comes out. Oh, my goodness. Great effort.
Yeah, the ball landed in foul territory, but not before Beltre had it in foul ground.
Look at that play. Unbelievable. Wow. That's great effort. That's a tough play from both guys. Andrus is sliding to try and get out of the way. He caught a cleat in the ribs. And it takes the legs out from Beltre. My goodness. He's going to hurt for a while, and he'll hurt tomorrow. But it's a foul ball.
Yeah.
Re-rack him, do it again. Good effort.
Beltre obviously landed very awkwardly, but he appears to be okay.
Such a tough play when you're running with your back to the infield to try and catch it over your shoulder. The shortstop's trying to help you out, and then he realizes there's going to be a collision. He slides to get out of the way.
2-1 pitch. And a strike call to even the count. Right back up the middle, and it's through. Scoring is Brantley. Santana stops at second. It's a 2-out RBI single for Yan Gomes. And the Indians, both of their runs today coming with the 2-out RBI hit.
Boy, Gomes, what a nice job of picking up your teammate, hitting it into center field. That's a big base hit right there for the Tribe. Coming back, and he gets the breaking ball. Gets it under the glove of Ross. Into center field. That ball down. He likes it down there. Oh, it's a 2-0 ball game. 9 singles now for the Indians.
Michael Bourne. Walked and scored his last time up. Takes a strike. Swung out and missed. It's 0-2. Robbie Ross fires, and Bourne shoots it out of play. The Indians in back-to-back innings, scoring runs with 2-out RBI hits. Down in the dirt.
The Indians, their third time through the lineup today, and Ogando started it. Faced the first two guys. They're ended up 5 for 8 with a walk that third time through. Both runs coming. One in the fifth and one here in the sixth with 2-out singles.
Bourne drives one deep center field. Martin racing back, still on the run, over his head. One hops the wall. Scoring is Santana. Coming around third on his heel is Gomes. He will score. Michael Bourne continues his RBI tear with a 2-out, 2-run double here in the sixth to make it 4-0 Cleveland.
How about that? Driving the high fastball to left center field over the head of Martin. He's not going to catch up. It short hops the wall, and they will circle the bases. So Bourne now with his 30th and 31st RBI, and he's been on a tear, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know that's 14 in his last 13 games, but he's had a bunch just in the last, well, you go back to the Grand Slam Wednesday.
And he's got 6 in this series, so that's 10 since Wednesday.
There you go.
That's your leadoff hitter. That's a big 2-out hit. That makes it a 4-0 game. That gives them their first extra base hit. Good timing.
Yeah, and give Yan Gomes some credit, too, because he scored all the way from first, and there wasn't even a play. He was really motoring. Nick Swisher taking a strike. He's 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. There's Gomes putting the gear back on now. Yan had the 2-out RBI single. All 4 runs with 2 outs here in the ball game. And it's 0-2 on Swisher. Mike Maddox, Ron Washington talking it over. Robbie Ross giving up 3 2-out runs here in the sixth. And that ball's hammered down the third baseline. Backhanded nicely by Beltre. And he throws him out to end the inning. He made a tough play, look rather routine right there. But the Tribe strikes again. They lead it 4-0. Panini's with 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Levin. Gorgeous look at the ballpark from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. And the Indians with a 4-0 lead as we head now to the 7th inning. Mike Avila staying in the game at third base. Pierzynski swing and a miss. Two balls and a strike. And that'll even the count of 2-2. Pierzynski led off the 5th inning with a single. David Murphy walked after that. They bunted both runners over. And then Ubaldo got to pop up a ground out to get out of the inning. Then in the 6th, a leadoff walk to Ian Kinsler. And he retired the next 3 in a row. One of the best games we've seen Ubaldo pitch. Swung out and missed. He's got another strikeout. That's a half dozen now. And there's one gone on the 7th. We'll go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, this Friday, the Indians are going to be in Miami, and they'll see this young phenom, Jose Fernandez, who today against Pittsburgh struck out 13 in 8 innings. Steve Cishek is on now to try to get the save for him. Marlins lead it 3-2, 9th inning. We'll see Fernandez on fire.
4-0 here in favor of the Tribe. Ubaldo Jimenez with a 2-hit shutout. David Murphy 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. He lines this one to deep left back. Over the shoulder grab by Brantley, 2 down. Now Jurickson Profar with 2 down in the 7th. He's 0 for 1. A sac bunt his last time up. There's a fly ball to center. Michael Bourne, a routine play. 1, 2, 3. So the Texas Rangers, Ubaldo Jimenez, 7 shutout innings here this afternoon. The Indians leading it 4-0. Time now for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. Promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ubaldo Jimenez has been dynamite here this afternoon. Back on June the 1st, he went 8 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball against Tampa. He also went 7 innings, 3-hit shutout baseball back in April against Kansas City. But, boy, he's been so good here this afternoon with 6 strikeouts. Don't know that he's been any better than what we've seen here today.
No, you could be right.
Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Right-hander Tanner Scheppers coming on for Texas. Scheppers showed out at the ballpark the other day with a shiner. He had a black and blue eye after he said he was, quote-unquote, sucker punched on the streets of downtown Cleveland at around 2:30 in the morning. But there have been some conflicting reports as to exactly what took place. Fastball in there for a called strike. Kipnis fouls it straight back. Curveball missed outside.
The Indians doing all their damage today, Matt, with 2 outs.
Yeah.
You know, in that 5th inning, they come around, they score their 60th run. They had 2 outs, nobody on. Ended up scoring a run with a walk and a couple of singles. Kipnis drove in the first run.
There's a high fly ball, center field. Martin broke in, now goes back and makes the catch 1 away.
Well, the White Sox are coming into town for a 4-game series starting tomorrow, and on Wednesday night there will be fireworks and dollar dogs, and also the first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a Indians cap. The fireworks will be presented by Shears following the game. That's part of the fan ticket exchange opportunity after the rain-delayed game on May 31st. So log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Pitch in there for a strike to Cabrera, who is 0 for 3. Popped up, foul, and out of play. Just to kind of wrap up this story with regards to Tanner Scheppers, this was reported by Evan Grant, who's covered the Texas Rangers for a long time. Because Tanner Scheppers originally came out and said he was sucker punched, that he was jumped and that he was punched and that the guys got up and ran away, and the end of story. And obviously a lot of people who live in Cleveland felt, boy, that doesn't reflect well on us. But then it came out, according to Evan Grant again, that Scheppers refused to provide any information to the police officers. He refused medical attention, and he refused to file a police report. And according to an unnamed source, he had 10 chances to walk away before the incident occurred. So obviously there appears to be more to the story than he just, quote-unquote, got sucker punched.
Yeah. Well, if he was by himself, he's the only one that can answer it.
There are 2 down now here in the 7th inning, and Michael Brantley coming to the plate. Hard hit ground ball to second. Profar has it, throws him out. Inning over. 7 in the books. Cleveland 4, Texas nothing. of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Indians lead it 4-0. And as we roll to the 8th inning, Ubaldo Jimenez stays in the ballgame, and why not? He's retired 6 in a row. Just under 100 pitches in the ballgame, and Joe Smith is warming in the Tribe bullpen. Upstairs, ball 1 to Mitch Moreland, who is 0 for 2. And 0 for his last 19 overall.
Well, normally we see Ubaldo at the 100-pitch mark around the 5th inning, but not today, folks. He is at 100 right now, and he is into the 8th inning. Well, right now it stands as 7 innings pitched.
Back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. High fly ball, right center field. Ryan Rayburn back on the track at the wall. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. What a great catch by Ryan Rayburn.
Oh, man.
1 down here in the 8th. Rayburn tracking it all the way with a pretty good breeze blowing out toward right center field. He got right up against the fence, made the catch just as he plowed into the wall, and hung on.
The fans didn't realize he caught it. They thought it was a home run. I didn't know if he caught it. He gets back there. That ball carried. It went right into his glove, and the mic's in the wall that we can hear. He goes smashing into the wall, but able to hold on, and what a great running catch by Ryan Rayburn. Beautiful. Look at it. I guess that's as excited as Ubaldo gets, but that's a nice play.
Well, I don't think he was quite sure either. He said, yeah, or wait, yeah, did he? Whoa, what happened? Let's listen to Rayburn as he crashes into the wall.
Sounded like he was mic'd.
Leonis Martin 0 for 2 on the day, 3 for 8 in the series.
Mike Grignon and Schnack are going to have a talk with him after the game. We're disrupting the mics stuck in the wall.
Stop hurting our mics. Well, Terry Francona's talked about just the job that Ryan Rayburn, Mike Aviles, Jan Gomes, the job that those guys have done. Jason Giambi, bringing energy to the ball club. You know, as your extra men, guys who don't play every day, but they show up ready to play every day. And he said if it's a pinch hit situation or like today where you've got a day game after a tough night the night before, they bring that energy to the park and everybody else feeds off of it.
Well, that's why they say it takes 25, to get through a whole year. It actually takes your 40-man roster, with injuries and everything included. And it helps when you have those guys that can give you time off and that you can count on and rely on.
Ian Kinsler with 2 down here in the 8th. Takes a strike. Down in the dirt. 1-1 to count. Ubaldo trying to get through this 8th inning. He's only done it one other time this year, and that was June 1st against Tampa. Ground ball up the middle. Cabrera cuts it off. Unloads. Got him. Ubaldo Jimenez has retired the last 9 Texas Rangers in order. And he has shut them out through 8 innings. Stay tuned for Indians Live. It comes your way right after the ball game here on Sports Time Ohio. We'll have the highlights, reaction, analysis, and a whole lot more. Brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Boy, Ubaldo Jimenez with a terrific outing here this afternoon. 8 shutout innings. 2 hits allowed.
Well, he was very good today. 3 walks, 6 punch outs. Really, I mean, for the most part, pitched ahead, used his fastball. It was a nice outing for Ubaldo.
And Ross Wolf in there with a fastball strike. Santana with a base hit up the middle. Carlos with his second straight single. In-game box score brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. Michael Bourne with a 2-run double in the 6th. Jason Kipnis got it started with a 2-out RBI single in the 5th. Then Bourne's 2-out 2-run hit in the 6th capped the big 4-run inning. Gomes had a 2-out RBI hit. It's just been clutch hitting for the Tribe today and some outstanding pitching. How about over in Detroit, where the Phillies took a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Tigers have scored 11 straight runs since.
Wow.
8-run 6th inning, capped by Johnny Peralta, who hit a grand slam. Get ready for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for live sports, news, highlights, and shows that only Fox can bring you. America's new sports network is Fox Sports 1, and it's coming August 17th. Mike Aviles 0 for 1. Hammered deep left. Murphy looking up. He'll wave goodbye. Mike Aviles with a 2-run homer to left field. And they'll celebrate on the porch as the Indians get some big insurance runs here in the 8th. It's now 6-0. For Mike Aviles, home run number 6, RBIs number 28 and 29.
That ball leaked inside, middle third coming in. And Mike Aviles pulls the hands through. It was elevated, hit it high, hit it deep to the home run porch. And Aviles gets the home run, 2-run shot.
Indians have now homered in 8 straight games. As Yan Gomes looks at a ball outside, he's 2 for 3 on the day. Couple of hits, an RBI, and a run scored. Two and one the count. Gomes with a drive to deep center. Back is Martin on the track. He can't make the play. Bullpen door flew open, and into second base goes Yan Gomes with a double. Leonis Martin was tracking it deep to center field, and when he crashed into the bullpen door, it flung open on him.
Yes, it did. Backpedaling, there's another pitch that was out over the plate, elevated though. And you can see Martin makes the jump, then hits the fence right there, or the door that opens to the bullpen, and that thing wasn't latched, though it opens wide. And in a hurry, it'll be a double for Gomes.
Looked like Martin just kind of lost his way a little bit back onto that track, too.
Looking into the sun, and not an easy play. It's lucky he didn't get hurt.
Michael Bourne, the batter now. 3 hits here in the 8th for the Tribe. 2 runs in, and Bourne looks at ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Ground ball right at the shortstop. And Andrus will throw out Bourne, 2 down. Gomes moves over to third. Now Nick Swisher started this game with a base hit, pulled it into right field. Then he goes oppo to left field. Then in the 5th inning, right back through the middle.
That's using the whole field. Love to see it coming off the bat of Nick Swisher. I think now he's starting to do that. You're going to see the hits start coming instead of getting pull happy. That was he's had a nice game today.
And a foul ball. Ground ball right at the second baseman. Profar will throw out Nick Swisher to end the inning. But Mike Aviles with a 2-run homer makes it 6-0 Cleveland as we go to the 9th. By Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It comes up right after the ball game. Vinny Pistano will come on to pitch the ninth.
Pistano for the 34th time this year. 1-2 record, a .418 earned run average. Vinny coming on to face 2, 3, and 4 in the Texas lineup. Ubaldo went 8 innings today. Allowed just 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 6. Go back to June 1st, and I mean, that was just a beautiful performance by Ubaldo. Drew Stubbs into the game in right field. Well, they're going to say, Terry, what's wrong? Rayburn didn't make a nice catch out there. They'll put Stubbs and get him some.
Maybe Ryan needs a little ice pack after that.
Yeah, that could be.
In there for a strike. Elvis Andrus, 1 for 3 on the day with a double way back in the first. He's never had an offer in his career against the Indians. 37 straight games with a hit against Cleveland. Way outside. And that's ball 4. So Elvis Andrus is aboard to start the ninth for Texas on a walk. Take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. From earlier today, we were hoping that Ubaldo Jimenez would continue the trend of Indians starting pitching, and boy, did he ever. He's dropped his ERA from 4.49 coming in down to 4.17. 8 shutout innings. And Pistano misses again. It's 2-0. This is a Texas club that offensively has been stifled by the Indians. They have not scored a run in their last 18 innings. Huh? Well, you said 18 right here, so 20 innings. Nelson Cruz 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, and the count is 2-1. Double play ball. Kipnis to Cabrera on the first. A double play. And that will leave it up to Adrian Beltre, who is 0 for 3 today. Right now, Texas Ranger fans just have to be happy that he's still in the ball game, because he was involved in an awkward collision down the left field line earlier. And he landed in a position that looked like he could have hurt himself, but able to hang in there. Takes a strike. Tribe will welcome the Chicago White Sox in tomorrow night for a 4-game series. Right now, they're 1 out away from putting the broom to the Rangers.
Good way to start this homestand off. Got 4 coming up at the White Sox tomorrow.
Swung out and missed. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sometimes you've got to just hold serve, and with the Tigers drilling the Phillies, the Indians have done just that by sweeping the Texas Rangers at home for the first time since August of 1980. Vinny Pastano finishes what Ubaldo Jimenez started. 8 shutout innings for the Tribe right-hander, and the Indians are now 57-48 on the year. They've won 4 in a row and 9 of their last 13. Texas has now dropped 4 straight and 9 of their last 11. The Rangers fall to 56-47 on the year. Ubaldo Jimenez is now 8-5. Alexi Ogando, the tough luck loser for Texas, he goes to 4-3 on the season. 14th team shutout for the Indians, as they now lead all of baseball in shutouts.
It's
Go
incredible.
Figure that one.
Yeah, back-to-back shutouts here at home.
Against the Rangers.
Against the Texas Rangers was very impressive. They've been shut out more already this year than they have all of last year, but the pitching for the Cleveland Indians is the story. The starting pitching has been unbelievably good.
Well, let's take a look at our key to the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank.
Let's go back to the 6th inning, 2 outs and 1-0 ball game. And Michael Bourne comes up, and he's going to drive it to left center field. And 2 outs, and it gets it over the head of Martin in center field. And he has been 10 RBIs in his last 4 games for Michael Bourne. Taking advantage of it right there. That's the KeyBank key play of the game. You get a free Kindle Fire HD when you sign up for a new checking account. Some restrictions apply.
The executive producer of Sports Time Ohio is Tom Farmer. Coordinating producer for Indians baseball, Steve Warren. Today's game produced by Jim Murphy, directed by Pat Murray. Indians Live produced by Mike Bachman. Associate producers Mike Pacta and Steve Bardo. Technical director Dan Larson. Creative consultant Mark Kohar. Stage director Gary Coach. And our statistician Tom Boshenik. We're back with Indians Live. It's coming up next.